got this one. Let's see. Let's see. Hey to everybody coming in, watching now. Thank you and thank you and thank you for being here. Thank you and thank you again. I really do appreciate it. I'm coming on just to do a bit of a download, a bit of a release of what happened on Sunday in the Newcastle protest. It was disgusting. It was the police were from the get-go ready for a fight. Hey Suzanne, just talking about Sunday. So they were ready for a fight. They didn't care whether it was women, children, old, disabled. They did not care one bit. There were children getting pushed and shoved around, women getting pushed and shoved around. Yeah, Suzanne, you were there, and you feel really low because you see the stage that we're at, and this is the one thing that I'm in a position right now of feeling bad sometimes about talking about the fact that this is going to get nasty, and it's not going to be just a quick fix it. For many reasons, the kind of beings, let's say, that we are fighting against are very different to what a lot of people realize. They, are also very, they're very, how do I say it? I'm just getting these pictures downloaded so I don't show anybody's information. So don't show anybody's information while I'm showing them. 1 second. So there might be some background noise as I do this. Because I don't want to obviously show people's personal information on Telegram at all. But they've been sent the videos, of some of the things that went down, and I want to show people. I want to show people exactly what went down, and it was disgusting. And so let's see if I can find those now. Hey sister, Susie, my lovely Susie, it was a nightmare on Sunday. So I'm just sort of saying the police were disgusting. The police were ready for a fight. They were ready to push and shove children around, injure my friends' children, injure all of those that were, oh my goodness, this has got so many on. How do I show it? 1 second. Should have done this first, I think. One second, just bear with me.
Whilst it isn't human nature to engage in...
Let's see. Oh, Jenny. So anyway, I'll find a way. 1 second. I will find a way. So yeah, the police were a nightmare. The police were disgusting, and the with some of them, very few of them were able to talk to. I got in a deep discussion with my friend Phil, with one of them, who was actually willing to admit he regretted taking that infusion. And he was willing to admit also that he would never let it be administered to his children. But also so close-minded as to, he kept saying, but why would they do this? Why? I don't understand who gains from this. And you know, you realize that the sadness, and I think you're picking up on that today, Suzanne, the sadness of, you realize that it's so close-minded, so conditioned and controlled as to the way that they think. So this officer was willing, actually this one officer was willing to take the links, he was willing to take the prompts, he was willing to see what we were talking about, but it still kept coming back to this question as to, but why would they do this? Why would they want to depopulate? Why would they want? And you know, you can speak back to say, well, maybe it's got something to do with the trillions that have been made in profits for the very people who have caused this pandemic. Maybe it's got something to do with the fact that they are from lines of eugenicists that are psychopaths and that want to be gods, that want to be able to be manipulating and patenting our sacred DNA. Maybe it's got something to do with that. You're trying to get into the mind of a psychopath, of a person, a being, let's say, of a very different nature, without empathy, without need for cause, just a wanting of power and control. And so, but the rest of the police, hey brother, hey Gaia and John, I love you all. So yeah, it was pretty intense, but the rest of the police, so the majority of them were there for a fight. I knew they weren't from Newcastle, and that came out later down the line, and I'll tell you that as we go down the line. I'm just trying to figure out a way to show you these pictures without, figured out a way. Okay, so let's see. Screen share. Let's see here, 1 second, sorry for the background noise. So I thought I turned you off. How do I turn you off? I'm doing terribly on this one, aren't I? But I'll just put that down there. It won't make too much noise. Let's see. So, see, screen share. And here we go. Okay, so this is just one of the people that was mauled by a dog. They brought in horses and dogs when there was very few people turned out, actually. It was really disappointing. And so it is horrible to say, but this is one of the guys who was begging the police. He was on his knees, so they had him on the floor. He was completely incapacitated. He wasn't going to do anything to them. Whilst having them on the floor, they allowed a dog to come over and they triggered the dog to maul his shoulder. His shoulder was ripped wide open. So just watching that again, I know this person, I know of this person, good person. So initially he'd been on his knees begging the police to see that they were going to stop forcing this on the children, this infusion. They pounced on him, they had him on the floor. He did not need the dog to be brought over, and they allowed the dog to rip his shoulder open. And they still cuffed him behind his back and did what they wanted to do. Bully boys. You see here, they were cornering off any exit. So basically they gave us a little garden to play in at the Civic Centre, and we weren't allowed to go anywhere past that. And they were also proud of themselves. We had police taking the mickey, you know, there's my boy, there's my brother. Good man, that's a very good man standing there with that sign. And they were being deliberately provocative by, you know, like holding their batons and waving their batons at you and pushing and shoving into women and children. That's AJ's music in the background there. Don't take the you know what. So are you seeing this? You can see how many they brought out. We had a huge turnout at the last protest and it was completely peaceful. There was nobody hurt. To be honest, I think people need to get past the fact that, you know, this can be sorted out in a peaceful manner now.
You've not got kids to celebrate.
They're not wearing any masks, yet you still see loads of robots walking around the town wearing masks. Don't even know why they're doing it. They just do it. So are you seeing this? Can you see that? Okay. Just let me know if you can see what I'm sharing when I'm sharing the screen. Hey Leanne. Hey Shelley. The police do. A lot of them. There was a few there that were you know, nice, that willing to listen. You can see it good. But the others, there were so many that weren't. So here we go. See him on the horse there. You know, he's waving his baton around, ready. These people weren't doing anything, and the police just went in and antagonized. And this is where they get that poor guy on the ground. I'll not say his name for his own privacy, but. And this is where it is staged, and I know children want to be involved. I just don't think children should be allowed to. This is an adult thing. It's adults that are having to sort this out. You know, children, here's my sister and my brother there. You know, it's adults that need to sort this out now. We can't trust the police around our children. It's too much for them. There was children injured that day. There's my sister, So Jamie is describing there how if you don't recognise an act, if you don't consent, then it does not apply to you, and the officer had to back down because she was right. She is right. All of this law system, all of this court system is a facade. It's a veil. You know, like we're here to protect you. From what? Yourselves? Ultimate fail. See here, everywhere people, they gave us this garden apparently to play in for the protest, and cut off every which way for us to walk around the town. And so they had dogs, horses, they were being very strategic about it. Shields, right, police. Proving a point, and this is going to be coming our streets on the regularity real soon, people. I've seen it coming, and I haven't wanted to see it coming. I've wanted to jump on the boat of, you know, love and light, fix this. No. Fuck no. A lot of the police there were enjoying it. They were enjoying their brawl. And those poor dogs. Trained in such a way that their adrenaline is constantly pumping.
Disgusting!
So for the amount of people you see, it's just an absolute disgrace. So these horses, they had them at nearly a trot, and they were fast walk at the very least, going around this very small green, and they just expected us to walk around in circles in this small green area next to the civic centre. When I said at the start of all of this, this is World War III and it is a follow-on from World War II, I wasn't kidding, and I wish I was. But when you're looking at that scene with those officers there lining up like that, with their batons ready, when you're looking at them, and when we have so many doctors, nurses, scientists, microbiologists, even within our own group that I'm with, the group of individuals that I'm with, you know, that are literally, these people have more authority and more qualifications over these goons here in their high vis. Yet they're following orders. Does that remind you of anything? It's not okay. When I said to that officer, it said, well, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. I said to him, does that not remind you of something that was said during the Nuremberg trials? Does that not remind you of and he put his head down and said, well, I can see what you mean. And one of the other questions he kept asking was, why would they all go along with it? And I just looked at him, arresting my friend, my innocent friend, for no reason. And I just looked at him and said, can you not see you're going along with it? Just because the systems tell you to. It's very easy to get many people going along with something. Very, very easy. Very easy. So they're just some of the things that were seen on Sunday, and the tactics. So when we were talking to the police officers, and I'll sort out that video, I just need to edit it a bit because it had some personal information in it. I asked my friend, as they arrested my other friend, to video it and get all of their numbers. And so they were being very cocky. There was that one nice-ish officer and the rest of them were being very cocky. And arresting him on false charges. And I know they're false charges, so I can actually attest to this and speak to this, the trumped up charges. He stood there and I'd said to him, I said, where are you from? And he'd said, well, we're the Middlesbrough police. Why are Middlesbrough police in the Newcastle? Why? They're starting to, one, change the faces of the police in locations, so we don't start going to these police officers' homes and saying, okay, you can easily find out where we live, we can easily find out where you live, just letting you know, there's some tea bags, there's a casserole, we're just dropping something off for you to let you know that, you know, you're part of the community, that when your uniform's on or off, you're not immune to having to live in the same space as us. So that's one tactic that they're doing it for. The other tactic is there is less empathy. If you're not in your hometown, there's less fear because you know you're going to go back to your hometown, which is a little bit away, and you're not necessarily going to be noticed. So they're changing around the forces. And it said, why is that? And he said, well, there's something called a call to aid that we put out. And I said, but the majority of the police here are Middlesbrough police today. And he said, yeah. My other friend asked him, hold on, when did you find out about this protest? Because we just found out this morning that was seemingly a tactic that was decided upon to make it so that, you know, the police couldn't have as much force or as much power on the day, that we only found out the location and the time of meeting this morning. And he said, oh, a week ago. Because there's still being papers put in to request a protest. Please, sir, can we come and let you know exactly where we're going to be and when? And please, sir, can we start protesting against the tyrannical government and the things that are happening to our people, to our children, to our elderly, to our sick? We're still asking for permission. So the people, the numbers that turned out on the last protest, not this one just gone, were far greater than this protest. So again, the strategy is failing people because we're still working with the systems. We're still asking permissions. We're still saying, please, sir, can I do this? Please, sir, can I do that? No wonder they deem themselves powerful and almighty to give us just a garden to walk around in circles in. No wonder they feel empowered to treat us like shit on their shoe, to use animals in such an abusive way, to train those animals to constantly be ready to lust for blood, to be on a constant adrenaline rush, to have those horses' mouths pinned down so their heads are, you know, curved round all of the time to ultimately keep control. Animals that naturally don't like to show violence towards humans. Animals that naturally don't like to be in an environment where they would cause harm to unless, you know, you're bad, it's usually, it's always the training. Or ignorance of medical problems with animals. You know, they don't, those animals in particular, horses and dogs, they don't want to be violent. It's not a comfortable space for most of them. And so the day went on like that. And they'd been called and they were arresting my friend on trumped up charges for a protest that had happened in Middlesbrough almost 3 weeks ago. So they knew the people, the key people that they were going to arrest that day. They knew the time and day before us. So we didn't have the numbers to make an impact, to push by, to push past. And I'm walking around the town because I had to go and put more money on the car. So I left the group I was with and I walked down to the town, and they brought the helicopter out, vans everywhere. And, you know, I had some leaflets about human rights and I was handing them out, and I'm looking around, and yes, a lot of people don't have masks on, but so many people still do. And they've got them, you know, under their noses or just on the chin. But they're signaling. They're signaling, like I said in the master and unmasked video I did ages ago, that it was a signal, a symbol to reinforce the powers that be, to have the powers over us. And yes, people might say, you know, just manifest, just sit back. Well, it doesn't work like that. Magic doesn't work like that. And neither does change. It takes a catalyst. It takes force with force. It takes certain ingredients. It takes action. And this apathetic, complacent in all of our spheres, the spiritual sphere, absolutely terrified of doing magic against them the same way they do magic against us, terrified of standing up because we don't sound like a peaceful hum. Well, I can do the peaceful hum, but I can also do the action and the force. And many more people need to find that within themselves before they come knocking on the doors for the children. They've put out now, the UK government, the Gillick competency report or mandate, whatever it is, where they have said, if you are sending your children to school, then you are giving the authority for your children's welfare to the school. And also we'll just add that this special infusion can be decided upon by a 12-year-old and up as to whether they want to have it. Now, remember, people are saying, yeah, but I'll tell my children not to have it. How many children go ahead and do something because the parent says don't? How many children are watching the TikTok videos, the YouTube videos of all the influencers that have actually been paid, all those, you know, dollar bills flying by to be paid to influence children? So much so that the Johnson infusion was specifically liked by teenagers. Why would teenagers have a specific liking for a specific infusion? because of influencers. So you give your children over to the school this September when they go back. You are actioning the plan. You are actioning the next aspect of the plan. And believe you me, I know it is fucking difficult to run a business and homeschool children and make sure they still get enough of the social aspect of everything. But fuck me, I'd prefer that than giving over the authority of my children to people who are just going to do their job. We are where we are. Yeah, at the end of the day, beloved, I agree with you completely. What have peaceful demonstrations ever accomplished? Because one thing I can say, it's accomplished bringing people together. It's accomplished people getting to know each other faces to faces and having that support that will come in very handy later down the line. But because of what we are protesting against, the type of beings that we are coming up against, you're quite right, my brother. There is no way that you can peacefully ask them, please, sir. They don't know what peaceful is. They don't know how to negotiate with that. And I'm telling you now, been picking up on it for the longest time, there will be, and it is perfect timing. You can see with Afghanistan, that all of a sudden people are talking about terrorism. All of a sudden terrorists are being let out of jails. All of a sudden these people are again going to get paid by the UK government, the British government, the American government, just like ISIS was. And there will be another ritual this September, which in real people will get hurt. Just look at those soldiers, apparently. Is that the right story that I've heard, that there's 13 soldiers? Marine Corps, Navy, Navy, I don't know, I don't want to disrespect by saying the wrong titles, but 13, in the tarot deck, 13 is death. Now, they might have killed more, they might have killed less, but the numbers they're putting out in the story for their coding, for their programming is 13. I've been smelling death and picking up on death, even those who are still walking, because they are changed. When I was walking, I was saying when I was going to put money in the car, I was walking down and looking at these people, and they were either laughing at us or they were either saying, why did I have to cause such bother? Or a lot of them were saying, what are you protesting against? What the fuck? What? Tell me now you've been vaccinated, please, because at least that will explain something here as to why there is such an emptiness of knowledge, of wisdom. Which would you like me to list? What are we protesting against? We're protesting against the forced, corrupt coercion, the fraudulent, tyrannical medical sphere, elites, government. Which one? Choose. So you can't talk to them. We haven't got those numbers. They are gone, done. They are thinking differently. You're going to start noticing when you're talking to people who have had certain infusions, they're very angry. They're very quick to get very touchy with you, very angry with you. Changed. Loved ones that have had it, you're going to notice that they've changed. Now the caveat is the American government, the UK government, if you go on the actual website of the actual people who created this infusion, you will see that actually they gave out, initially 60% of placebos. What? Are we not supposed to be in terrified fear of, oh my gosh, there is such a terrible V going around, and there's so much death because of it, even though we haven't seen any with our own eyes, even though it hasn't been isolated by any test at all, because it cannot be. I don't believe that. I think they've isolated it very well in the lab, but for what we know, because they can't tell us how they've isolated it, because then that would give us a clue as to the bioweapon they've created for the infusion. Why would they give out a placebo at all if it was all so bad? And what about those poor people that in 6 months' time who have been virtue signaling at people like me, saying, you know, you should get this, you should protect us all, when they find out they've had a fucking placebo. Honestly, that's where we're at. And I'm furious about it. And, you know, there's levels of fear sometimes that come up, but fear just fuels me. I transmute that shit very quickly. I might feel it initially for a time, but then I transmute that into focus and force. It pushes me forward. And people might say, be careful, sit back, be quiet. Too many people have sat back and been quiet. This is a history loop that we keep going through constantly. World War I, World War II. Because many people took the pill, took the conditioning to sit back and be quiet. And I can't look my children in the face. I can't speak to my granddad's spirit and say, it's okay, I'm just going to sit back and be quiet. I'm not going to be part of this. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to shake things down. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to shake the boat. That is worse than putting that police officer's uniform on and me push and get back against the people. To me, that is worse because I've got the knowledge. I've got a great bit of wisdom on it. To me, to sit there and bury that. And like a garden, we are supposed to be as the adults, as the aunts, as the uncles, as the mothers, as the fathers, as the grandparents. We are supposed to tend to this garden and leave it in a better place for our children. When we're long gone, why should they put up with the ramifications that we are putting up with now? Because too many people during World War II just kept taking, you know, the boiling frog thing, slowly just taking another rule. Yeah, just wear one mask. And socially distance. Just put yourself in your home prison. Just do this, just do that, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. We're nearly 2 years down the line in just a little bits. These beings that hijacked this plane, this dimension, so long ago, don't have to be in charge. I think this place is a paradise. I think this place has such beauty and so many layers of beauty in so many different ways. I think this place dances with frequencies to make light happen for us to absorb in such a beautiful, symbiotic way. But it's had this veil over it of these hijackers that have passed down their DNA line, our knowledge, our wisdom, and we find ourselves here at a space where they're playing around with human bodies to make human biological weapons, human biological robots, to sterilize. As I said, I called this before the information was coming out. They were going to sterilize generations. Now it's coming out. They're slipping up in interviews saying we need like until 2023 to see how much the sterilization has worked. Did we get 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%? What did we get? How many more miscarriages was there? How much? What does that graph show? Say it out of their own mouths, yet these people, as I walk down to put money in the car, I could have put Gates up on my phone. I could have shown them out of his own mouth talking about depopulation. I could have brought up links that show Fauci doing the same. I could have brought up quotes that show Soros speaking out the same. I could have shown all of that. I could have shown Biden being connected to the cabal. I could have shown Trump being connected to the cabal. I could have shown Boris being connected to the cabal. I could have shown the Australian president being connected to it all. I could have shown the German, whatever she is, being connected to it all. I could have shown the roots of Israel, how they've got their tentacles through everything. And it would have been, so what's your point? What are you saying? Crazy. So we haven't got those numbers. They need to be written off, unfortunately. But they haven't tended the garden. They haven't left good fertilizer behind for good fruits for their children. They don't know. It's really sad. Okay, what's going on in the chat. I had my rant. Monopods BS. I think that's how I would say that. Welcome, thank you for being here. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. Bang, yes it does. We must have said when the Romans turned up around here. I think it's something in various different ways, forms and languages, accents that has been said in this historical loop that we've been stuck in. Sorry for that noise, it's a new phone and I don't know how to switch it off. Many times. There goes the fucking neighborhood. And you see, I get to a point where I'm looking at these police officers, some of them innocently, just doing their job, but being relatively balanced and nice, but they belong to a system that is not. And the majority of them being ready for a fight, like in a brawl, put them in t-shirts and jeans, they would get arrested on a Saturday night in the town for being fighters. So, you know, but what was I saying there? I'm at the point now where I'm looking at them and I'm seeing that, hold on, we're being distracted still. We're still fighting amongst each other. A lot of these police officers being in our communities, even though they're swapping them around, and that's strategic. We need to go for the heads of the snake. How much more evidence do we need to know that what is happening is treasonous, tyrannical, is not right? Are we still waiting for the systems and certain regulations to work around their regulations, their systems? Because to be honest, I think we should be just going to Parliament. I think we should be camping out there so that when they're at work, nobody leaves until they come out and speak to us. I don't think we should be bothering now with the police after seeing Sunday. You know, you'll continue to do what you can because you would need the numbers to be going to Parliament. But I think there should be public court sessions. And we say, how can we do that? We can't possibly do that. That's so bad. They're not going outside of the system. Do you not realize our ancestors have gone outside of various systems over and over and over again? So yeah, need the head of the snake. Hey Dick, nice to see you. No good side in them to me. He exudes the essence of a base, sleazy, common, foisting his snake oil on gullible suckers. That could apply to anyone, so I'll have to catch up in chat. In America too, absolutely. They'll be going to the public offices where these people are. I can't say much more, but I'm just talking about, you know, saying let's talk, let's hold session. You all know what else. Let's see. All our beautiful children did it, yeah, and now they are going after our grandchildren, and they will do it to our beautiful grandchildren. Every day we set our intentions. Oh, Guy and my sister and Paul, I know what you've been going through with that, and it's so awful. Antiquarian, Aquarian, Jargo, hey to you, haven't seen you for a while. Yeah, I'm lucky in that I cut off my extended family for very good reason a long time ago, and the nucleus family that I have and the friends I have around me, I haven't actually had to face any of that regarding loved ones just going along with the narrative, which I am so grateful for. Somebody, Monopod BS says, somebody I work with has started to fall over and pass out on a regular basis in shops, in the street, everywhere. I can't imagine why. That's something I was seeing happen, and that's one of the things I think there's going to be a lot of car crashes soon. I think there already is more car crashes than normal. I think people are going to start glitching like that in the cars. So I'm taking it real easy on the road to be careful on the road. I'll just put that up on the screen, Suzanne, because I don't want to read it out YouTube. I agree with you, Secret Beloved. I'll put that up rather than speaking out word for word. Oh, bro, big brother, Elder Barry says, my friend thought she was wise taking it. She can't think or talk right now. It's real sad. Sorry about that noise. Shelley says, my best friend had 2 of those things and she is not the same. And she got the Delta variant after she got the things. She is not the same and she will get another. And you wonder, you've got these people, they've got these influencers saying, I've just been in intensive care after having my infusion, but I'm still so grateful that I had the infusion because it is far better than the sea. What? What? Loretta, heck, I've been angry lately. Yeah. And I think some of that we need. I need to get serious now and channel that and stop being wimps, to be quite frank. So Loretta, challenge that and channel that emotion, that fire, that energy, and transmute that into force in whatever way you see fit. Loved ones have changed, yeah. Gaia, willfully dense. I love that, Loretta. Willfully dense. I'm going to say that to somebody next time. You're willfully dense. Can't speak to you. Susie Q, my sister. They have cognitive disorders. Yeah, it's short in the mouth. It's short in their what do you call them? Neurons out. It's short in the mouth. It's short in how they bypass that information, that spark. That spark. Paul D, welcome to you. Hi to you. That will be empty soon because of the next lockdowns, end of September. Yep, they're coming and come after us, pro-choice. Yeah, absolutely. Paul from Newcastle, hey to you. Kids will be coerced and influenced by other kids, yeah, and teachers, fact. But only one answer is to be safe in this is homeschooling. It's all a psyop. Afghanistan men are coming here and staying in hotels. It's been done before, hasn't it, Paul D? They'll be coming here too. They already were coming off the shores. The kids and children, hardly any. Young men, yeah. Many parents will realize too late, yeah, but some of them won't. They'll still continue until that they conk out. They'll continue to get even the boosters for their children, because once they've done that too, they can't think, like Elderberry said, that they're shorting out. They can't think right. They can't. They're just being told what to think at that point. And, they'll go with these authority figures, the police, the schools, the social services, the doctors. Was the American Revolution a peaceful demonstration? Hell no. Hell no. And am I not spiritual? Like, beloved, are we not spiritual for saying that? Of course we are. Spirituality has been so fucking diluted. Love and light is so important, but to know the alchemy behind that, to know that actually, well, where's the love and light for the kids? Where's the love and light for the people that haven't done anything wrong? Exactly, it wasn't peaceful. Magic takes action. It does. It takes action. It is not an empty thing. It takes action. It takes ingredients. It takes measurements. Yeah, Australia, the media are being locked down, doxed if they go against the narrative. It's changed now from be changed today or be China tomorrow to change today or be Australia tomorrow. And my love goes out to the people I'm connected with there, and far and wide out from there, because those people are, too complacent for too long, too many. But there are some warrior hearts in there that saw this coming, that tried to speak out, and again, they were, drowned out by the complacent, apathetic robots, people, robots. They might eat you and stuff. I'll taste salty to them right now. Yeah, the shielding approach. Oh, hey, Global Resistance. Nice to see you here. Welcome. Sorry, it's a bit of a hodgepodge of a video. I needed to get it out and cross. The shielding approach, I'll not say that. I'll put it up on there, because at the last one I said these words and it was taken down. Exactly, those are being built. I'll put that up too. Read that, please, on the screen. I can't speak it out because of YouTube, which is ridiculous. The population reducers want to put the risk group people together in genocidal green zones to make sure their homes are, this is the next one, contaminated enough to demolish them. Oh, and they'll then buy up this land as well and have even more land. And that's where you will be own nothing and be happy comes from. Also be aware of, thank you for that, Global Resistance, be aware of the weather. They've been knowing how to control weather since the 1950s. That's when they admitted to it. So it was since before then. And I've said in the last reading, I think it was, or the one before, can't remember, about many, many weather storms, Katrina style. Again, by the numbers, they're going to bring this in. By the codes, they're going to bring this in. America needs to brace itself for storms. Britain needs to brace itself for flooding. And that's going to be manipulated. And that goes with what Global Resistance has put up there too. All of a sudden, homes are unlivable. Oh, we've got camps. Welcome, come for your own safety. Well, come. Well, they're playing God with the weather. And I know people might want to shoot me down for that and say, no, don't be silly. Storms do happen, of course they do, but not timed like this, not ritualistically like this. They're going to break down the land. They're going to break down people's homes, and they can buy up that land and say, it's all right, we own it. You live here if you do this, 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 and this. And if you continue to do this, 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 and this, or you can just stay in these camps. Police are now are thug gang members. Absolutely, beloved. In the old days, maybe, but the new police are very different. Beloved, you're on fire today. I've kept saying this to people, but when we're out and about, these police aren't normal. When we're in London, I was saying these aren't police. Some of these are foreign to our land. Some of these don't even speak English. I could pick it up on them. They weren't saying a word, but I could pick it up on them. They've been trained in a very different way. Yeah, the military won't be local. That's what the guy, you're so spot on. They'll bring in non-local, because it's far harder to punch down your brother or your sister that's resisting, that you've seen every day, at the shops. Or far harder to control family members because you're just doing your job. But if they're put in different areas, just like the police are being put in different areas, the military will be. It's far easier for them to just do their job. These faces aren't known to them. They haven't got natural empathy with them. So it's far easier. Exactly. There is a lot that are saying no in the background, just like doctors and nurses, I feel, but not enough, not many. Sorry about that noise. I will figure out that phone. I love that willfully dense Loretta. Experiments, yes, Susie was speaking about them. Say it says, are you okay to be an experiment? And that one nicer officer said, no, I'm not. I regret it. I regret it. How come people see? How can't people see? Gaia says, my father was in biowarfare. Gaia is, and Paul is, a wealth of knowledge. And she says they're nuclear warfare. And watch out for the nuclear storms that are coming this year and next. Oh, it's another nuclear storm. Why? Because you're colliding atoms in a certain way again with HARP. So look out for that. The breastfeeding, yes, John. I was a breastfeeder for all of my children, and yeah, it passes through. Let's see how many more stillbirths there is, or stillborns. What's that one when the sleep condition? What do they say? Infants. Where it's mysterious as to how the child's died in their sleep. See how many more of those there are. It's nice to see some new names. Wendy, who did you think was on the good side? If it's one of the politicians I'm thinking about, then no. Or one of the ones that says it's not a politician. Yeah, they do look like they're acting like clones. I've missed that. Yeah, that's Paul, you're so right with Suzanne. Yeah, they were glazed. Their expressions were glazed and robotic. Some of them, very few of them engaged in, and that was it made the contrast even more stark of which ones looked very, very glazed and robotic and which ones looked normal, that were catching your eye and that were able to hold a conversation. Oh yeah, it's definitely who the people voted in, for sure. Wendy, my thoughts on Trump. They do a lot of good. I think he was the biggest psyop of all. I think he riled people up just how he was supposed to. I think he was the one that said, just take the guns now. And said, no, it's too soon in the plan. We can't do that just now. You know, he went to a Jesuit college. His father's linked to the eugenicists, and he was linked to these eugenicists. And did Hillary get arrested? No. Did anybody of any esteem get arrested? Was it on the, you know, did Epstein got arrested? Yes, but you know, that was sorted out real quick and easy. Disappeared him. You know, did he sign the contracts with Pfizer? Yeah. Would he only speak with Gates, Fauci, and exclude Kennedy Jr., who was very qualified to speak? Yeah. Did he sign the billions, whatever it was, contract for the specialist syringes for the infusion? Yeah. Did he do the warp speed? Yeah. At this point, this is where it's again walking down the town and seeing that people are still sold on the system, in that anybody within the system right now that is still fighting within the system, you're still gonna lose. No, I don't. You know, I think it was part of the narcissistic triangulation programming of the people, and to cause the divide, and also with the number 17, to, again, just like the spiritual community, link politics with spirituality, sort of, with this bridge that is the number 17, with that number 17th letter, to get people to sit back and trust the plan. He was telling them, sit back and trust the plan. Well, that plan played out to him signing the things, him making sure the Emergency Use Act that is still in place today was signed. And it made people sit back and trust the plan, made people complacent and apathetic and distracted. So that's my thoughts on him. Global Resistance green tea with honey, awesome, with chamomile and other thyme, teal, awesome. Right, okay. Thank you for that. I've been making lots of different teas, experimenting lately. That's so funny. Well, it's funny in dark. Paul from Newcastle. Yeah. Hey to you, Antiquarian. Nice to have you here and see you here again. Yeah, that is what happens when you let governments decide that these elites can put things in you. Lots of car crashes. Is there, Gaia? Because I've been really picking up on that. I've seen it happening, not physically yet, but in visions. They're glitching. Oh, Dick, I'm sorry you're poorly. I'm glad you're using the herbs as well. Well, a weaponized pathogen, so was Ebola. Ebola wasn't able to be transmitted to humans until they faffed about with it, until they fiddled about with it for years. So flus are, you know, in general, I think many flus are played with because they've been giving out flu jabs for the longest time. They've been making money off that for the longest time. And I think a lot of the jabs actually put that into people's systems, put it into the collective. So yeah, you're not wrong either at all, but sending you healing and love, my friend, for you to get better. That shedding experience that I had, that I was ill for so long, was pretty bad, and I've had some pretty bad ailments. So you know, as a level of it was pretty bad. So I understand what you're saying, but also flu is terrible. Real flu is terrible. Kills a lot of people. Not that it's going to do that to you. People have forgotten that because of this repackaging and relabeling as well. That they forget that flu put a lot of people in intensive care. A lot of people. I'll have to go because I've got a reading to do. No, I'll just show that up. Thank you, Monopod BS. There is more crashes. Thank you for qualifying that also, Antiquarian. That's another thing then. Not good. Hey, Susie Q, she says. We closed the interstate, Gaia. Wow. Hey, Jack's dreaming. Hey to you, beautiful. Yeah, sending you lots of healing. That's back in Susie's intent, 100%. That you are fully restored and renewed. Oh, I would just show you something as well. That phone, sorry. Yeah. Exactly, Wendy. This is what I say. How can you have the bleep when they have not isolated it ever at all? Not for public knowledge anyway, and certainly not with P ... C ... R ... test. It's just lost the ability. So another one, Jack Streamer, my friend, is double infused and seems to have lost the ability to think for herself. Nigel Lee, welcome to you. Oh, there's lots of new names here today. I love it. Much love to you all. I just wanted to catch up, have a chat and show you what's going on for real. Hi, Jennifer, much love and gratitude to you in all the room. Oh, from Darlington, not far from me. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Delaney, Queen, you Black Pearl. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about also, relevant to the black goo, the clots that it's causing. Yeah, I think, Wendy, a lot of people thought he was a good person, think he's a good person. And, you know, I don't spend too much time shouting about it because it causes such a divide, but the divide was caused. Everything that they wanted from that was achieved. And I don't know of anybody that could listen to the cabal, listen to Fauci, listen to knowing, having the inside knowledge of knowing what Fauci did with HIV. You know, knowing about the bioweapons, knowing about the papers that I picked up on, you know, about China where Fauci and other doctors from the UK, or you know, why did he do the warp speed? Why didn't he call out the test? Why didn't he, you know, I don't, and what, he went to the same spaces that we are calling the worst of the worst and the elite. He went to the same, you know, these children, these elite children are born and they are conditioned for a purpose, conditioned for a role. It's abuse for them too. It's horrible. But they are conditioned for that purpose and that role. And he went to the same Jesuit schools that many of them did, His father, you know, was into and connected with eugenicists. Yeah, so that's, I don't think so. I love this. I love you being here, Global Resistance. Religion is an illusion, to quote Freud. Religion is slavery for the mind and based on the lie that there is something higher than the human. There is not. YOLO. Religion is a curse. Oh, that's good advice, Global Resistance. Put electronic equipment you want to keep in a grounded metal bin. Get a water filter, as the EMP will also knock out the electrical pumps of our tap water supply. Good advice. They will now attempt to control us, force us, degrade us. If we do not act, we are acted upon. Rise up, resist. Yeah, things are not what they seem with him. There's an absolute psyopen part of it. Antiquarian, Aquarian Jargo. Ready to rage against the machine. Bring back some of that fire. Yes, sir. Oh, Jack's dreaming. Love you, sister. The sky is ghastly today here. It is. Yes, but busting out. Just going to put that up there. Cut the water off. They're working with the elements. So there'll be fire, there'll be winds, there'll be water, and there'll be the earth. All of those things with the weather control, earthquakes, storms, heavy rains, flooding, what else did I say? And fires breaking out. They know how to work with the elements. They've got that secret knowledge. They've got that knowledge of how to get plans in place, how to do that kind of magic, that kind of alchemy. They're working with the elements within the person. They're going to start infusing the water, so that, you know, that stuff that's connected to the black goo, putting that in the water supplies. They're going to start in controlling what can be grown, therefore controlling how grounded people can be, how connected people can be. So they're controlling the physical body, which is the ground in the body. They'll be controlling the fires in a lot of people, where we'll see a lot of these people glitching and getting very angry and very unbalanced. So they'll be glitching those kinds of fires within the person. What else? And the air source, the thoughts, the air that you breathe, you know. So there might come a time right soon where the masks will be handy, proper ones anyway, because, you know, we will need to control a little bit of what we're breathing in. Maybe they work with the elements. So when you're predicting what they do, or you have a vision, go back to your elements, your core, the foundation of any magic, and see what they could be doing with it, and whether it backs up your vision and what direction it goes in. Storms don't know dates, no, but they do. Same way as this virus doesn't know dates or times, but it seems to have been, because, you know, there was lockdowns after 9 and whatnot, and the only can group in people, numbers of 6 at some point in the UK. Yeah, the Global Resistance, thank you. You're a wealth of knowledge today. You all are. Thank you so much. Bringing in foreign troops in fancy dress. Yeah, Jack streaming for sure, sister. Yeah, we share any land. We should be guardians of it. We should look after it. We should nourish it. We should, you know, we do need our guns back. Oh, Aquarian, we do. It drives me up the wall that I was pretty young when that was all happening, because I would have been raging against that. I used to go shooting with my dad at the farms, and we need our guns back. Art of War for sure, Sun Tzu. Yeah, that's Jack's dreaming. You are so right, because I've spoken to GPs who are part of certain, not part of groups, but get in together with individuals to share knowledge, and they are so uncomfortable about what's happening, but they're even more uncomfortable about how many GPs are going along with it. Even how many GPs have infused themselves with it without ever reading the empty leaflet that comes along with the vials. Keep iodine, yeah, for sure, Dick. Iodine is so useful. The land does own you, and you're so right, beloved. The land does own you, and our Norse ancestors knew that. You know, you look after the land and the elementals within it, because if it decides to turn on you, there's not much you can do. It owns you. It owns how you dress. It owns how warm you are, how cold you are, how nourished you are. It does. But it doesn't ask to own us. It just is, and it should be that symbiotic relationship again. Milk can be very contaminated, and that's part of the code they were putting out a while back, Gaia. Do you remember when farmers were being told to just empty the milk on the ground? That again was more programming, more code. That caught my eye a lot. Yeah, get like a filter thing, Jack streaming. Infant cot death. Thank you, Wendy. That's what it was, infant cot death. See how many more of those tragedies are happening. Warp speed, yeah, that was the one. Well, I hope you're right. Antiquarian. Yeah, and he got the highest awards given by the Zionists. That's another point. What did you miss while you were gone? I don't know which part I'm at. Seek out truth, Shelley. Same bird, absolutely, John. Well, part of the plan, trust the plan. No one is coming to save you. You're right, Gaia. Save your freaking self. I think he said it was a person's choice, but that again, that got people relaxed. Sister Susie did, you know, got people relaxed to think, oh, we don't have to rage against this. It's okay. This experiment coming in. He didn't make it very clear that it was an experiment. He didn't make it very clear about the ingredients within it. He didn't make it very open about what he discussed with Gates. And again, it's like he, you know, it makes you relax because you think, oh, well, I've got a choice. Wasn't a choice for very long. He will come back. I've picked up on that, Gaia, that this light, you know, this savior is going to be coming back in, not in the way that the followers think exactly. Pine tea for sure, Wendy. That's been real useful for people. Yeah, that's come up in readings before, Jack streaming, where I've said, you know, it's the savior will come in. And again, this loop will continue if people fall for it, I feel. But the same in the UK, you know, there's going to be a new person coming in, and, you know, the savior of the day, you know, to save us from the joke that is Boris Johnson, that isn't very funny as a joke. Yeah, and, you know, I don't feel he ever left his democratic. I think he did that, you know, for the plan to go ahead and look as it was and have the red and blue, you know, the two sides of the heart on the diagram, how it shows one side oxygenated, one side not, so it's red and blue. Pumps the same way, you know, if they both don't pump on either side, the heart doesn't pump the blood around the system. You know, he was always part of the Democrat crowd. He always spoke very highly, very, very far on into his lead up towards going into the role for presidency, election wise. You know, he wore a blue tie. And then he wore red throughout his whole presidency. But as he was leaving, as he was congratulating Joe, he wore a blue tie again. That's all code. But it's not to argue about, it's just to say different opinions. I don't want people to get distracted on that, because it's bigger than this. It's bigger than those two jokes, and it's bigger than the jokes in Parliament. It's bigger than this. That's what I was going to show, global resistance. That's what I was going to show, that I wanted to show that this probably isn't the best link, but I'll just put it up. I'll not read it out because of YouTube, you know how it goes, but just look at this. So I'll grab that link. There are probably better links. I can't do that until the screen is stopped sharing. So I'll grab that link and put it in the, now I'll be able to get that. Copy. Let's get a mouse. There you go, there's the link to that one. There'll be others, but yeah, about natural immunity. They've got roadworks everywhere up and down the country, put in those purple for the illusion. That's for the colours of the more negative aspects, but illusion can be positive too. But you know, the control, the top, the purple, the enlightened, but the illusioned, Obama very linked with purple. Put in those purple lines up and down the UK with that 5. Number 7, go, another bridge being installed. Oh, John, yeah, Suzanne said the same, and John, you were there yesterday, and Suzanne said the same. You're just picking up on the energies of like, damn, we're here. Yeah, sending your love. It was stressful. It was stressful. So much love to you, brother. I'll speak to you soon. I need to catch up on calls. I need to phone Miss Susie, Guy, and everybody. Oh, look, big bro. Because they can't isolate it, can they? They've never isolated it. As long as they keep testing for something that isn't there, they can make up the numbers. You're right, global resistance, for whatever they want. The children have been riding bicycles. I need to stop. I would have to practice on it, better on a motorbike, but you know, I can do it, beloved. I just need to practice on it in private. Yeah, anyone who promotes that infusion in any way, you know, as part of that plan. Yeah, the cancers, you know, disappeared. Now it's going to come up to a lot more cancers because of this 5, you know what, number 7 letter. People have been not getting their appointments. People have been just suffering, you know, terribly, because they're saying the hospitals are full when they're not. Yeah, the black goo is connected to the G word, global resistance. You're right about YouTube. I'm sorry. Yeah, the nanoparticles. I picked up on that years ago, and I was talking about it and didn't know actually why. But I feel it's a derivative of black goo. And if you look up black goo, you know, it's a very weird substance. You put some here and you put some here, and you know, like the Terminator movie, where the metal, when the bad cop, you know, the Terminator that's bad, you know, gets sliced in half and stuff, and his metal just all coagulates back together. This stuff works like that, and I can feel it and see it working like that in these people that have been infused with the real deal. It's weird, and it is seen it in visions, it's adhering, and now there's stuff coming out, you know, studies coming out how these things adhere and go past the blood-brain barrier, like Big Bro Elder Barry was saying there before. Yeah, so look up, I've got a video on the black goo. Look up that, it'll say a bit, like you say, you've got to be careful what you say, but yeah, that would sort of talk about the magnet thing too, as to why that's happening. It would become like a receiver. It's programmable, this stuff, and I feel it'll be like the receiver. This will be how they will cause this hive mind, and why in that video and others have said, are we prepared to protect ourselves from faces that look like our loved ones, that walk like our loved ones, but are not our loved ones anymore, because I feel that could come if these plans come about. And of course, this is an experiment. We'll see how successful they are. That's what I feel. That's what I've seen, to explain that one a little bit more. The children have cancer like never before. Yeah. And what's been switched on? Big Bro, it's, yeah. The leukemia, it's awful. Susie Q, thank you, my sister. So if you want any readings, email me there. She's always got my back. Love my Susie Q. Just said that last night to Paul. Gaia says wind, fire, wind and water. Yep, and earth cracking. I've seen that. I know that's going to happen. Alchemical magic. Yep. I'm gonna have to go. I'm so sorry, because I've loved talking to you, and thank you for everybody's input, because it's just lovely to be in connection with people like you around the world, and seeing these new names too come in and having such input, because yesterday I was really having to transmute the energy after seeing what they were doing to my friends, to people I care about, after just seeing that we're still fannying about playing with the system and not going for the snake's head. I was not low, but I was like, I needed to go back to my mum's and pick up Theodore, and I had to just dance with her to pick up my energy. My friend Phil was there. We had to just have a little bit of a laugh and dance and transmute that energy out, and we did. But it's so fulfilling. Although I wish we were just talking about ways of, you know, getting deeper into our inner cosmos, and, you know, being able to see different things, different dimensions and visit. And of course we will do that. But for now, for today, after yesterday, thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for your input. Thank you for like making me know that there is more of me and there is more of you, and that are awake and aware and actually ready to do something. That's filled me up today. Thank you. But I've got to go and do a personal reading for a lovely lady, so I will have to go. Yeah, that's true. They've made water a commodity. Anything that they make a commodity, start to save it, because you know, they're going to start to use it against people. Wow, I love you all. I appreciate you all sending so much love out, sending healing to you, Tracy, Dick, that you are restored fully. You have full restoration and you feel stronger than ever in no time at all. And I know everybody, including Miss Susie Q, Magaya, Loretta, everybody, Shelley, all would back that 100%. So you're going to get well real quick, brother. You're welcome. I love you all. I'm going to catch up on this chat because it's so interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Freaking thank you. You've balanced me out before this reading. Thank you. Now, Suzanne Delve, sending love out to you too. And John, you were there yesterday, and I know the energy that you're in today. But let this beautiful chat from all different parts of the world fill you up today to know that we're not alone, and we're not going crazy. So much love, much balance, and much wholeness. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all. I've got to say that though, global resistance. Damn, you keep coming out with boom, boom, boom. Yeah, 666. This is what I say. The carbon atom, which makes up us, has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. 666, the number of man. And they use it against us. And we are the carbon they want to reduce. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's like they want to reduce poverty. How are they going to reduce poverty? People will think, oh, they're so good. They're saying they're talking about reducing poverty. In their eyes, in their way of thinking, in their sick minds, that's like, oh, well, we'll just reduce the amount of people that are alive that are in poverty right now. Boom, done. Or we're just going to take everything from the majority of people and have everybody on the same line. So poverty as a measure against wealth within the collective doesn't exist anymore, because we have put everybody on the level playing field. You'll own nothing and be happy. And it'll be put across as a real green, coming out of the yellow and blue magic into the green effort, you know, for the world. But people will be like, oh, they're saying such good things, that politician, wow, they're talking about real good things for the planet, for this, for that. And it's like, no, when they're talking about reducing carbon, when they're talking about, you're right, Jack Stream, they'll just say, well, we'll just reduce those people. Boom, done. Equation done. So anyway, I've got to go. I love you all, appreciate you all. Mwah. Wholeness, balance. Awesome freaking people.